and so on, and all of those songs that I don't know how to play.
Welcome back to Andertons TV! Mr. Pete and Mr. Lee here to tell you about this new Boss IR-2.
Andertons TV, Mr. Pete and Mr. Lee, that rhymes.
It does indeed. It's only taken us 7 years to
figure that out, yeah. It's almost 9 years now.
Well, welcome back.
Anyway.
Yes, if you enjoy talking about pedals, amps, guitars, and other silly guitar-related stuff, you might like this channel. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, thank you.
Merch if you want to wear our clothes as well.
More videos and other things up in that corner.
So we're talking about a very, very cool new product from Boss here.
It's very cool.
We've been racking our brains prior to this video to go, is this totally groundbreaking, unique, you can't do this at the moment without this product? Or is it just, this is the first time Boss have kind of done it?
Well, you tell us out there in the comment section.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll tell us.
I think this is relatively unique. So
I think so.
We all are familiar with the sort of product category that I suppose something like the Strymon Iridium started, which is this idea of you now have a pedal and it sounds like a Fender amp or a Marshall amplifier and it has cabinet emulations into it, so you can use that instead of a guitar amplifier. However, what we now have is that kind of functionality, in fact, quite a lot more functionality, inside a Boss compact pedal with a price that's more indicative of a compact pedal as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
So what you've just heard here is this pedal integrated into a simple pedal board. Could be a massive pedal board if we wanted to, but we've got the Dane overdrive pedal going into the front of this. We've got the delay and the reverb going through the effects loop of this pedal.
It's got an effects loop. I don't think the Iridium has an effects loop, does it?
No, I don't think it does either.
I don't think any of them has an effects loop.
The pink and the green cable here is coming out in stereo, going straight into our interface. So there's no amps, no mics, no nothing. This is just this pedal. There's a little headphone socket on the back here. So again, maybe you just want this to stick at the end of your pedal board as a little practice thing.
The Universal Audio don't have that, you know, so.
It's got USB-C on the back here. USB-C can be used as a little editor. It can be used as an audio interface. It can even, if you've got the right cable, plug straight into your phone for recording direct to your phone. It's kind of nuts. So let's get into what it actually is. It is, as the name suggests, an amp and cabinet pedal in one. So we have the choice of, is it 10 amps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 amps.
11 amps, each with a matching cabinet with the official Celestion impulse response for that cabinet.
You can load impulse responses in this as well.
Yeah, you can change them if you want to via USB-C.
Am I right saying it could be an amp, a cab, or an amp and a cab?
Yeah.
Or just an amp, or just a cab?
Yeah.
Or a cab on amp, or a cab, an amp and a cab.
So do you like a cheese and ham sandwich, or just a cheese sandwich, or a ham? Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, that's changing.
Isn't it?
Its default mode out the box will work as an amp and a cab, and then it has various different power-up modes if you want to if you just want it to be an amp or a cab emulator on its own. So let's just go through them. In fact, that's not even where the cleverness ends, right? So we have 2 channels on the pedal, green and red. I suppose you might naturally assume green is clean, red is driven, but that's not the case. It's just your 2 settings. You can both clean or both driven if you wanted to. And it's one of those beautiful WYSIWYG products. You go, what do I want the green sound to be? I want the green sound to be this. Blah, blah, blah. I like that. Happy days. What do I want the red sound to be? I want the red sound to be this. Leave that.
WYSIWYG.
And it just remembers everything.
Yeah.
Turn it off, switch it back on, still remembers.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Everything should be like that.
Yeah, even me.
Me.
Yeah.
What did you say? I can't remember.
I think what we should do really, look at that, it's my OCD. I just want it to be on the green sound. Let's just go through what they sound like. It's maybe not at the level of amp modelling that some of the £400 or £500 units and above are. It's maybe more indicative of a multi-effects unit of this kind of price for its
Exactly. Would you expect that from
that would be too much, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just, you make your own mind up as to how it sounds. So we're going to start with a mode called Clean. Or a model called Clean, which is an original Boss sound with a 1x12 Celestion V-type mic'd up with a Royer 121 microphone model. The outer 3 knobs are a 3-band EQ, bass, middle, treble, and the inner 3 are ambience, which is a little kind of roomy reverb. If you want bigger reverbs, you'll need to use a separate one.
Yeah, that's a new
and
RB200.
then gain and level, or level and gain, like you would get on a normal amp. So let's have a little listen. Should we always use this reverb? Let's show people what it's like if we don't. So this is the maximum reverb you can get if you don't have a separate reverb pedal. So I think most of us would
we probably have a little bit.
So I'm going to turn the... I'll just have a little bit of ambience from here, but we'll use this reverb.
Ambience is good, man.
Yes.
You know, but it's good when people have ambience as well. You know what I mean? People walk into a room, they've got ambience.
You've got ambience.
Yeah. It's not a flat sort of person.
It sounds
Sounds
fine
great,
to me.
man.
Some people will say when you're into digital modeling, does it take pedals well? Let's find out.
Going to gain it down. Let's see that. Absolutely fine. If you are looking at the top here, it says channel selector. You can have an EV5 switch here that you can, so you can turn this. This can be on and off.
Right.
So you can turn it off completely for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And you can use a separate one for the channels. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so that's an excellent little feature. Which is cool.
I mean, look, everybody watching this that they play guitar has probably got a pedal board. Maybe it's got 2 pedals, maybe it's got 50 pedals on it.
Yeah.
Just imagine this at the end of it, even just for practice. Anyway, next one then. TWN, obviously Fender Twin, 212 Celestion A-type IR on here. We'll either put this on screen now or maybe we'll make you go to our website to find out. But there's a big table that shows you what the cabinets are, and what the microphones are and all that kind of stuff.
That'll be on their website as well. Or...
so let's have a little listen to a Fender Twin.
In the menu, you have to fold out 1,000 times. You got old-fashioned boss models.
Quite gainy for a twin, isn't it?
And quite sort of kind of buckety.
Yeah.
Canny. It's uncanny. Yeah, it's good.
If you like your Fender amps driven, you know, we can drive a...
That sounds great.
Now we've got a Tweed setting, which is a Fender Bassman.
Do we really need to know what it is as long as we think it sounds good? Do you know what I mean? What is that? Why do we always have to? Oh, this is a Fender Bassman. This is a Marshall. This is that.
Do you know, it's a good shout.
Turn it over there. I like that sound. You go, that sounds good. I don't need to know what it is. I like the sound.
I think sometimes it's even a danger of saying what it is.
Yes, because you associate it.
Because if you don't like this, you know, you might end up not liking the sound of an amplifier that you've never actually heard just because you've heard a model of it once.
And we get that with the AC30
well,
so many
of
times.
Which, great segue, because the next one is indeed an AC30 that I'm not going to tell you about.
Yeah, it's got that.
Bad, actually.
It's not bad. It's not one of the worst I've ever heard. That's great. That's good, actually. That's really good. Sounds great.
Next is another original sound, so not based on anything. This is just called Crunch. You know what?
They're good.
Obviously,
They are
Clean
like from,
Crunch and stuff are. I'm not saying they're
like the
from
Katana,
Katana,
right?
but
Yeah,
the
but that's-
naming convention and stuff is from Katana.
which
So
I
maybe that's
like
where
about the Katana, because that just affirms that thing that I like the clean setting, I like the crunch
Yes.
setting, I
You
like
don't really
the
care what
you don't-
amp it's
what
trying
amp,
to
it doesn't
be.
matter what it is,
Yeah.
as long as the sound is good,
Yeah.
right? It's like. Not wrong with that, innit? 180
It's kind of
quid.
nuts, isn't it? Again, if I know I said this earlier in the video, but just in case you missed that bit or I've skipped, the red and the green channel are not. One is not overdrive and one is clean. They are just whatever you set it to. So
But
don't
green
worry.
is already faster.
Yeah, green
more,
sort of feels like it should be clean,
yeah.
doesn't it? Right.
Red is faster.
Brit. This is a Marshall 1959 with a 412.
Funny, I'm struggling to hear in the frequency.
I must be honest with you, I know we're only probably halfway through the settings here, but I do think this is going to fly because it's cheap enough and small enough for every single guitar player to just go, I might as well just stick them on the end of my board. I'm not saying it's as good as a UA, Universal Audio or some of the, I'm not.
Oh, is it? That depends on what you think. This is what I'm saying. If you don't have to know that it's a Marshall or a Fender, it just has to be the right sound for you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if it costs 100 quid or 300 quid or 4,000 pounds.
It's cheap enough and small enough and simple enough to use that you just go, why wouldn't you?
It's cheaper than your power supply on your pedal board. Well, it should be cheaper than your power supply.
When you put it like that, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
And you should be, power supplies are so important on a pedal board, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That, and patch cables, that's two things you don't skimp on a pedal board.
So I will.
And this is less than you buy.
I will say one feature that I kind of feel would have been like the cherry on top is you can't set output A to be an emulated output and output B to be non-emulated.
But then you can get the IR-200, isn't there? The IR-200 thing. But that's not the point of this. The point is that this is simple. You don't need all that stuff, really.
Well, what?
Do you?
So
you want one amp on one side and one on the other?
No. So my point being, let's say I wanted to use this live, and I wanted my normal amp to be what I hear on stage, and the front of house guy to hear this. I would want one side to come out non-emulated, but then I would have to have is a little AB box in front.
Yeah, or you have a stereo this at the end, and one stereo goes into that, and the other one goes into your amp. You don't want a stereo system on your front, or an AB box, as you say.
Anyway, that's a
solution for that.
That's my only sort of thing that I'm sort of going, wow, but maybe just it's not aimed at that guy.
I don't think it's aimed at that guy.
Yeah. Right, anyway, so next is high gain. It's another original setting.
Can I do Les Paul on this one?
Yeah. I mean, interestingly here, I'm barely touching the EQ because it's like every sound I get just sounds fine.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. You don't need to fiddle too much with it.
3-second review.
3-second review.
3-second review.
The silence speaks.
Maybe there are.
Thank you.
Thank you
for watching.
Look, maybe there are. I'm trying to think. Maybe there are loads of people typing in there. Yeah, what about the Mua or the Nuex or the? And maybe there are some of those brands that have done something
TC.
similar. Or no, not TC.
Don't they have the little pedal one? Is that just cabinets?
That's just cabinets. The radar, not the Impulse, is just.
I thought that
cabinets.
had. Oh right.
No, well, you'd have. Okay, so no, TC. You're right. Sorry, TC have got amp works.
Yeah.
But that's one amp per pedal.
Oh yes.
That's not like several. No, well,
11.
Again,
This is 11 amps in one. It's not 3 like all the other ones. Or like 3 is.
And if I remember rightly, although Ampworks was good, it was only the Fender one that had reverb on it. So, and although they do have 2 channels, so you're right actually. So TC.
And you can't load your own Impulse in it either. In the Ampworks.
No, you're right. It's just the preset one, isn't it? So I think your Ampworks is maybe not a dissimilar product. And it is cheaper than this actually, but it's not.
Yes, but it's only 1 amp.
As this, yeah, not as. But what I mean,
you've got 11 amps here.
I'm trying to think now. Look, I bet there is a brand that you've, not with the sort of the gravitas that Boss have got that have maybe done this. But
they've probably stolen it from them.
Maybe. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so
can I just try? Put it back on. I want to hear what it does when I roll down the volume. Just.
It is.
I hear, it is on. Maybe I'll just turn it up. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the ultimate test for these kind of things, is like, how does it react as you start to try and wind the volume down? And I never think these things go quite as clean as a real valve amplifier.
But it's not, man.
It's still
we can't
impressive.
have the discussion. You can't compare this to an amp and a cab. In the end of in a room, it's just not right.
Well,
it gives you a flavour of it, and it sounds great through the monitors and your headphones. But it's not about that. It's about feeling a 2x12 cab in your face.
So, next one is the SLO 100. It's only a £4,000 amplifier that you get in this £180 pedal.
My point exactly. Again, it's a flavour of it.
A little bit raspy compared to the real thing.
Not, if you have £4,000, buy the amp.
Yes.
If you don't have £4,000 and you've got 200 quid, yes, buy that.
I think
it's a flavour of it. That's why it annoys me. Not annoys me, but that's the wrong word. But it does annoy me that they have to say, oh, this is the Soldano.
Yes.
Because it's just not a Soldano. None of them is. Whether it be,
it's almost like offensive to the.
It's almost
to the brand of amp, isn't it? Look, I mean, I get it. That's where they're drawing inspiration from that kind of sound. How close it gets, obviously, is.
It's an aspirational thing.
If it's close enough for you, then great.
It's aspirational to have that name associated with your sound. Yeah. But if you never plugged into a SLO 100 in 4x12 cab, you just don't know what the difference is. You think, oh, that sounds like I got that sound at home on my plug-in.
I feel like sometimes
I don't want to be.
It is mad that you can have a product that's. I mean, in fairness, all of these kind of digital amp, even a neural quad cortex, compared to how much it would cost you to buy all the amps that are in it, is like buttons, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, in my humble opinion, and I know I keep saying it, it's not the same. No. It gets you a flavour and close to the sound when it's in some speakers. But as we talking about earlier. The difference between playing guitar through a couple of monitors, even though they're Genelecs, and through a 2x12 cab, is just the sensation when your balls going like that, and your heart.
Maybe that's why I think this product is actually so good, is because it's kind of not. It's not necessarily priced or spec'd to be going. Go into front of house, get rid of your. I think it's just going. if you've got a pedal board and you just want to be able to either practice through some headphones or quickly get some tones into your interface that are decent, and you just want to spend 180 quid.
You're saying front of house, this is the thing. If you are playing a big gig, say an arena tour, stadium tour, whatever it might be, nobody will be able to tell the difference whether you have a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 pound amp and you got 4 of them in the back, and because it's coming out of speakers here and nobody cares. Yeah. So you could use something like that and people say, oh, that sounds amazing.
Right.
As long as you play it right and you look the part and you got long hair, you know, and you wear a shirt and you play with Pink and you're called Justin.
I am going to just again say, if you are of a certain age, like myself, and your eyesight's starting to go, you are going to struggle to see some of these words.
That's why they sell glasses.
Now we're moving on to Brown, which is another original.
I do think the Brown sound in the guitar is a great sound. It almost sounds like the IR is not right for that amp.
This one, this is a 412 Celestion G12M Heritage.
Well, so on theory, in paper, it should be the right one. I mean,
I think this is just, you know,
it's
when is it good enough? And I just go,
it is good enough.
It's good enough.
It's not. Nobody's saying it's good enough.
For the format and the price, it is beyond good enough.
It's banging.
Yeah. Anyway, right, 2 more to go. Modded is another original one. I don't think you get modded on a Katana.
Can you imagine meeting a lady on a blind date and you pay? This is what you get. Can you imagine getting all of that for? What is this one?
Modded. Straight out the 80s, that was, with your delay and reverb.
But there is something to say about when it's when it's a lot of it coming out of it. It seems like it almost going, oh, it's becoming too much. Do you know what I mean?
It's got the 32 floating point processing, blah de blah.
Yeah, which is the highest you can get, but still, it's almost like.
I think it sounds amazing.
Yes, but that's not what I'm saying. But this is what you then pay your $4,000 for, right? Because you'll get the heaven will opens up when you are standing from front of a full stack.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. It's amazing for the money.
Well, look, one more Boogie dual rectifier.
Oh, here we go.
Is there a noise gate on it? No. Okay. It just sounded. Sometimes it sounded like there was.
That's because my playing is so good now.
Is that what it is?
I'm in
emulate
video.
A noise gate.
I emulate a noise gate.
Human noise gate.
Yeah.
I think there is a noise gate on.
There's slightly noise gate, but it's not loud enough to be annoying.
There was a patch earlier on that no, I know, where I think it's when you try and roll the volume down, that's where
you can hear.
I think you.
It's so
quite
minute,
subtle, but I think it's enough there for you to, if you're really familiar with using real amps. You
See, this sounds awesome. It's a great sound, but I had the Road King, right, with the 4x12, and it'd blow your head off. But this has got that flavor, definitely 100%.
Do you know, weirdly as well,
Galloping.
all of my favourite sounds in here are the Boss original ones.
Yes, exactly.
They're not the modelled ones.
Exactly.
But maybe that's because as soon as you have in your mind that it's a model of something, you're going, oh, does it sound quite the same? Whereas if there's no reference...
This is the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
But I'm...
not this guitar, but anything.
I think that's one of those... This could be one of those kind of products of the year. It's like, why wouldn't you just sling that in your gig bag? Does it run on a battery?
Yeah.
I mean, so
it's got a battery on it. Oof.
So yeah, look,
so you could has it got like 4 minutes of battery charge? Doesn't
I don't know. So you could be anywhere with your guitar, that in the pocket. Want to do a bit of practice? I suppose yes, you could argue that there are plug-in thingies, and so I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that in isolation, everything that's on here has been done before by other products, but I just think everything together in a compact pedal at that price is
Which one has got 11 amps in it? I'm just wondering. The most is it's 3, isn't it?
Well,
so you got...
But that's what. So if you take a multi-effects unit, let's take a Vailton GP200.
Yeah.
200 quid for the LT or the junior version, and you just turn all the effects off, and you've got the amp models. But
do you not get that in some of the bigger boss boards as well? Do you get like ME90? Does it have like some of this stuff in it? Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I think...
but you don't want that. You just want this...
Yeah, in isolation, there's nothing on here that you couldn't achieve in a different product. Now. But I just, there's something about the format and the price and the simplicity of it all. I just think that will really appeal to lots and lots of guitar players.
That's a good product.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Well, there we are. I mean, that was impressive.
It makes me angry, all this stuff, because I really think it's so good.
Well, this is...
And when we had to plug into a Marzio valve state or something, and that was all we got. And then just a slap at the back of the hand, learn that. Can you imagine having all of this when you're like 15 years old?
Yeah.
And there's nobody complaining because you plug your headphones into it.
Very clever. Congratulations, boss. I like that one.
How much is it? 189?
It might even be less than that. It's ballpark 180 quid. We might have got all that wrong pricing-wise, so always go on over to the Andertons website just to triple check what it is.
These phone numbers and below as well.
I believe these will be in stock as well for when this video goes live. So, and this is we're probably coming into prime time, Christmas present time now, aren't we? What a brilliant little product.
Exactly, and you know what you need to do because it's Christmas time. You need to buy one of these with it as well.
Absolutely.
They go really well together. I mean, that's double the price of that.
This goes well with anything.
But it's double the price of that,
pasta goes really well with fish, red wine. It just goes well with absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.